Back, and we're doing something different here. We're going to clean a fuel injector. I've used this process for my GSXR 1000, the tire slayer, and this one is being used for a CRF 450L. The engine, the fuel tank, pardon me, the whole bike itself sat for a long time. So the fuel tank had some questionable fuel in it. Additionally, we had a person that didn't drain the fuel, but they got a deal on it, I think. I hope they got a deal on it. But anyway, it's run like crap. They did everything that they were supposed to do. They replaced their ECU. They got a full exhaust and all this stuff pre-tuned for everything, and it still ran or still runs about as bad as it did when they got it. When it just had one of those on the top of it programmers that really don't get the job done. But we're going to go over on how now I'm not telling you how to do this. I'm just showing how I do these fuel injector cleaners. And usually if you have to clean your fuel injector, you need to either replace your fuel pump or service it however way you're supposed to, at least a filter, probably the whole pump, whatever. But we're going to go through the materials in which you need, or at least I need when I'm going to do these, and I'm going to show you something not to use. Number one, you're going to need a valve stem. Now this is a valve stem not to use because you can see on the underside of the valve stem, which is most critical for our process, this brass piece is really shallow in it. We need one that is relatively deep, like this one. This is one we found. It's got a brass piece in it, but it's got a relatively deep piece on there. We're going to need a zip tie, and we're going to need a drill bit in which to drill a hole in the cap for the valve stem. One other part of the process will mean removing the Schrader valve from the valve stem. If you don't know what that is, you probably don't need to be doing this. I'm just showing how I'm doing this. You need a can of carb or choke cleaner. I prefer the B12 Chem tool, but O'Reilly's still works, and it's cheaper. You'll need when I do this, some wires with some what I call mini alligator clamps, like this here. You'll need some tape, like I've done on here. I don't know if you can see very well, but I've insulated one of these clamps on the injectors because there's two little tabs on them on which we'll need to contact it. Don't you skip. You need to not hook them up to the battery. You need a small battery to work on here. And you'll need some goop in which to seal the cap of the Schrader valve, the valve stem. Your tube that goes to your carb choke cleaner, you'll need to seal that in there. Unfortunately, I pulled mine out at the last minute here because I was trying to make a little platform here to display our process here. And I haven't done this yet, so bear with me. But basically, whatever your part is that you're sealing on here, like this one has like the clip style. I keep messing up my focus. It has the clip-on style connector for the dirt bikes. You can do this on most any dirt bike that's fuel injected, but also on a sport bike. That'll be different. On these other kinds, you'll need, if you have one like, I would show you, but on the neck of them, they have these seals. You'll need to remove the seals on them on the fuel inlet side, because if you don't do that, you could damage the seal with this carbon choke cleaner. So the process is, once you found the right stuff, you zip tied it down into place, you've got everything staged up. What the process will be is pulsing the carb cleaner as you sporadically make contact with either your positive or your negative with this terminal. You don't want to leave it in constant contact with the terminal, because if you leave it in constant contact, you're going to ruin your fuel injector, because they're made to pulse. When you put voltage to it all the time, you're going to mess it up. And I've chosen to have, this is just a paint can cap on here, and it's just going to catch the naughty that we flush out of it, hopefully. So we're going to get on that process, and I've done this before, so on my stuff, let's see, make sure that's going to be kind of in frame here. Forgive me, I'm my own cameraman. So let's see if we can get that in frame. And I'm going to put my, let's see if you can see it. Okay, good. I'm going to carefully put the tip on my apparatus on my carb cleaner. I do these videos for fun at the end of the day, so it's been a long day, so don't hassle me. So I have this in a position where I can spray it, and you can't see this right now, but I'm down on the floor. When I'm spraying this, we can see if we can hear it. So that's activating the injector. What I'm doing is just touch, 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 touch to the battery. You can hear it. So what I'm going to do is spray and touch. And so since my adhesive didn't really set up very well, we're kind of getting some side spray on it. That's just a casualty of the process here. So this is a little sloppier, but I'm just trying to get it done. Okay, so I don't know if you heard that, but it was going in there. Not really happy with this process that I did, but it got the job done. And if you look down into this paint can, here's all the filth that came out. I'm going to go back and redo this off camera, but you can see all the filth that we've broken up. And this other is setting in the injector. It might not look like much, but that's a really dark material that's in this. That's not the color of the injector cleaner. This is much darker, and it's nasty. So this is going to be the process we're going to go with. I'm not happy with how my injector cleaner apparatus seal has worked. So that's just an idea for you to do that. Don't decide to film something and then just do it anyway like I did. But if you allow it to set up, which I did, but it got stuck underneath this apparatus and it got pulled out and I didn't know it. So it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but it's still getting the job done. So let it set up overnight in your cap. Use a very small drill bit in which to accommodate the hole on your fuel injector cleaner or carb cleaner schnozzle. And just, I used Sealsol because it's fuel resistance, but I pulled it out and I feel stupid about it, but oh well. But I hope this is helpful for some people. And if you don't know how to do any of this stuff, you're not familiar with it, and you can't be safe, don't do this. Have somebody use an actual apparatus. But this process has saved me. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.